Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, the Democrats are continuing to try the H.R.40 grift. The Democrats are down so bad, they are so desperate to get us back in the fold because they know that they have lost us. So they say, well, let me go on and try this H.R.40 again. So they brought out Ayanna Pressley to go on and try the H.R.40 grift again. Let's go ahead and cue this up.
To pick up the mantle of this historic legislation that has been championed by John Conyers, Congressman John Conyers, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. That was introduced more than 30 years ago when Congressman John Conyers was a co-founder of the Congressional Black Caucus. We're at a critical inflection point in America, and the moment cannot be more urgent. With Black history under attack and white supremacy emboldened, there is no better time to introduce this bill than during Black History Month, a time when we reflect on our history, our struggle, and our collective power. And I'll say, it is also not only about Black history, but it is about Black futures. More than 4 centuries ago, Africans were kidnapped, trafficked, and enslaved, forced to build this country under horrific brutality, an economy which we still benefit from today. Rice, sugar, tobacco, cotton. And even after the Civil War, emancipation, and the 13th Amendment, the legacy of slavery endured in other forms, codified in law to deny Black Americans freedom, opportunity, and dignity. And that's what brings us here today. This brutality, these injustices, these horrors were not things just happened within the culture by osmosis. They were legislated. Today, with Donald Trump and Republicans waging their coordinated and at times unlawful assault on Black folks and Black history, we will not allow that history to be erased. We will not allow it to be whitewashed. H.R.40 is a powerful reminder of the work that remains and offers us a pathway toward truth, reconciliation, and accountability. To be clear, this bill is not a symbolic gesture, but rather a meaningful step toward repairing the deep structural injustices that continue to harm Black communities today. The racial wealth gap in America is not an accident. In Boston, my home city, the Federal Reserve counts Black wealth at just $8, compared to the wealth of white households at $247,500. Nationwide, the racial wealth gap is over $10 trillion. That's trillion with a T. This shameful reality is the direct result of generations of precise, intentional policy harm codified into our laws and budgets. And it is specifically the result of slavery and the anti-Black society that followed. From Jim Crow to redlining to mass incarceration, our government, through policies and budgets, has perpetuated and entrenched these harms for generations. The disparities that we see in health outcomes, housing, education, wealth, and more are by design. Today, our government has a moral and legal obligation to right those wrongs, and reparations are a necessary step towards achieving justice. Now, here's what the bill would do. H.R.40 creates a federal commission, an expert body charged with investigating the enduring impacts of slavery and its aftermath, and developing concrete proposals for reparations. This is a pragmatic policy that is fundamentally about repairing harm and building a more just America. Whether you are in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Trenton, New Jersey, or Mattapan in the Massachusetts 7th Congressional District, this is about ensuring that every person has a fair chance at the American dream. Now, I know some like to think that Rosa sat, Martin marched, and John crossed a bridge, and we were free. But we are still very much in the civil rights movement. Every day, the progress that we have fought for, the gains that have been made, are under assault and being rolled back.
So you heard that BS. Now, this let me tell you what's so offensive about this. Democrats, if you were serious about H.R.40, which we know H.R.40 is a scam, but let's say you're serious about the scam, right? You would have did this during the 2 years of Obama when he had the House and the Senate. If you were serious, you'd have did this between the 2 years of Biden when he had the House and the Senate. And you did not. So you're going to come out knowing good and well that's not going to be voted for, right? You had the votes to do it. The only reason you're doing this is because you say, oh, well, I know black people want reparations, so let's try to get out there and dangle this H.R.40 carrot in front of their face again. No, that's done. When y'all played that mess in 2019 and we realized the fraud that it was, we're like, nah, we cool on that, bro. Because you didn't give the migrants, Democrats, no HR or anything. You just gave them money. You put them in luxury hotels. And you had FEMA and everybody else transferring millions of dollars to hotels for these people to stay for free, while FBAs is struggling to pay their rent and mortgage every month. The federal government with the Democrats was transferring all kinds of money to food companies in the millions and maybe even billions for these migrants. But FBAs are struggling to figure out how they're going to feed their families. They didn't need no commission. They just like, hey, pay them. And that's what they finding out now with Doge. They finding all this mess out. So Democrats, you can miss me with H.R.40 or anything else. Look at your boy Gavin Newsom. They actually did a commission. They did the study. And when it was time to start creating an organization to say, okay, we need to create this office so we can figure out who's actually eligible for the reparations. It won't just be any old black person that show up. It has to be people that it's actually a descendant of slaves. Gavin Newsom and the black Democrats, the California Legislative Black Caucus, you remember, they sabotaged the bill. When the Republican was trying to say, nah, put it up for a vote, put the bill up, they sabotaged that. The Republican called their hand out, exposed them. And that also led to people not voting for Kamala Harris. So Democrats, leave us alone. We know you don't want to pay no reparations. That H.R.40 stuff not going to work. No, the same money you were giving them migrants, that's the money we need. I mean, beyond which, Representative Pressley, I'm offended. I'm offended you came out saying that crap. Very offended. Y'all had plenty of time to get that done during Biden. But Biden didn't want us to have reparations either. Because what did Biden say? Well, I support a study, but he never said, well, yeah, I support cash payments. Because cash payments were going to all them folks overseas and people right here with these federal contracts that was supposed to be up, but they still getting paid. You understand what I'm saying? So try again, Democrats. Try again. If you want black folks back, actually start paying reparations. You don't need no H.R.40 to do it. Just do the same thing you did with the migrants. Because I don't even want to hear the term H.R.40, that grift, that scam. That's a scam. Playing with black people like that. No. The Democrats think they can just go say, oh, there's some racism and, oh, reparations. We're going to come run back. Listen, Democrats, it's a new day. It's a new day. See, when you empower in these cities, that's your opportunity to show how good the Democrat Party is to FBAs. And you're not doing right by black people in the cities that you control. So how are you going to do good on the national level? It's just not going to happen. You get support starting locally and you work your way up. Locally, county, state, then national. You understand? But this dangling that carrot in front of black people, bro, we done. We are done with that. We are done. The Democrats, they in trouble. They know 2026 is coming. The midterms, they trying to win these elections. Man, you didn't pay me to vote for them. Please, that's so disrespectful. Bring out H.R.40. We know good and well you Democrats do not want black people.